Momo and the boy went their separate ways, both sending the other to a location where alien and spirit sightings occur. The boy, whom she named Occult-kun on her phone, sent Momo to an abandoned hospital medical school where she was too scared to navigate all by herself. Asking the boy what this place was, whispering into the phone, the boy tells her that the Nagi hospital is practically the holy land for UFOs, and if she were to call for one from the roof, she'd be abducted. Worried for her safety, she asks what that even meant. The boy simply replies that she'd get kidnapped by aliens and they will use you for human experimentation. Hearing that, she questions the whole thing. "Hold on, have you been experimented on?" she asked, now extremely worried. The boy doesn't deny and tells her most of the people who are abducted have their memories wiped so they'll never remember encountering aliens. Worried for once, she asks if he has ever seen a UFO. He tells her whether he's seen it or not is inconsequential. The question is whether or not the argument is solid. She tells him to shut up, annoyed with his answers. Before asking how he was doing, he confirms that he has arrived at the haunted location, which was a long tunnel. He shakingly made his way into the tunnel, saying he was ready to prove to her that spirits did not exist. Hearing his shaky voice, she asks if he was actually scared because he was guaranteed to see something there because it's a famous spot on the net. To distract himself from being scared, the boy started singing, which Momo could hear loud and clear through the phone. They say a loud voice is the most dangerous thing of all, she tells him, but the boy ignores her statement and asks why she keeps referring to the net and if she's ever seen a spirit. She tells him she's never encountered one, which enrages the boy, getting an apology out of her. He calls her out, saying, "You've never seen a spirit, and you believe in them." He found that bizarre. She tells him it's not bizarre because her grandmother is a spirit medium, and she's always been close with her since she's never had any parents. The boy, feeling guilty, quiets down, which frustrates Momo because that's the last thing she wanted. She stops him from feeling sorry for her and tells him that her family is super weird. Whenever she went outside, she'd have to do a ritual for good luck. Doing that as a kid got her laughed at by the boys at her school, and if she stopped the ritual, her grandmother would get angry, which will then make her feel bad. She finally decided she had enough when a boy she liked started making fun of the ritual she used to do. She thought he hated her because of that ritual and hated her grandmother for that reason. She said some horrible things to her grandmother and stopped talking to her and stopped doing the ritual. Even though she was angry with her grandmother, she got really pissed off if anyone said something bad about her. Then she realized that it wasn't that the boy she liked didn't like her. What she really hated was the boy making fun of her grandmother. She loves her grandmother and what she does as a spirit medium. Even though she hasn't seen a spirit or isn't sure her grandmother has the ability to sense the supernatural, she was the one who raised and looked after her, and so she believes in her. She quickly changes the topic, asking him why he believes in aliens. He pushes the question to the side and tells her it doesn't matter. He just believes in them. Momo notices his responses are faster compared to earlier. She tells him that he speaks really fast when he's on the phone, and asks him, "Did you know that?" Not knowing it himself, he just responds with, "You're easy to talk to." And that's when he grows silent as an old spirit lady appears out of nowhere staring at him. The old spirit lady tells him she'd let him suckle her teats if he lets her gobble his schlong. Hearing that mysterious voice and the boy let out a terrifying scream, Momo realizes it could only be a spirit that got him that scared and tells him, "No matter what you do, don't run." The boy pays her no heed and runs out of the tunnel, saying it's just an old lady trying to deceive his eyes as he ran for his life. Momo, worried for him, yells for him to stop. The boy, whom she named Occult-kun on her phone, continues running, stating he misunderstood, and it's just a merely chance encounter with a horny old lady. Momo tries to get him to listen before it was too late, telling him, "The net says that's super dangerous," referring to him running from the old spirit lady. "Do not let her overtake you no matter what. If you lose a race against Turbo Granny, she put a curse on you," she warned him. The boy didn't listen to a word she said. He grabbed his bike and took off. Unfortunately for him, Momo's words became true as the spirit known as Turbo Granny came out of nowhere, dashing forward. Easily catching up to the boy, Momo heard his scream through the phone and tried communicating with him, but she got no response from the other side. Concerned for the boy, she decided to leave the hospital to check up on him and make sure he was doing okay. Just as she was about to leave, she spotted 3 creepy-looking men standing still staring at her. She asked what the hell they were and if they could stop staring at her. Seeing them just creepily smile at her, She got concerned and without hesitation turned around and took off trying to escape. The three men chased after her and grabbed her by the shirt, ripping her shirt apart as they proceeded to grab her, knocking her out unconscious. Momo gained back consciousness and found herself strapped on a table, her legs, thighs and hands all strapped onto the table with her shirt and skirt missing. Confused, she looks around and finds the three men surrounding her. "Hello to you, woman person," one of them greeted. "We are Serpians." He introduced himself and his friends. "We are called that because we come from the planet Serpo, confirming themselves to be aliens from another world." "You're aliens?" Momo asked, shock written all over her face. The alien tells her not to be afraid because they're friendly, and Momo fires back, telling him friendly people don't strip girls naked, and asks where her clothes were. He tells her her clothes are being handled with care and proceeds to show her a torn-to-pieces school uniform. She tells him he owes her compensation for tearing her uniform into pieces. She then tells him she wants to leave and asks if they could let her go. The aliens start explaining that their species has no female species, just male, and that they increase their numbers through cloning, getting Momo mad as she wonders if they're even listening to her. They continue saying, however, when every individual is identical, evolution of the species does not occur. As a result, conflicts such as joy, anger, grief, and pleasure have been eradicated. They tell her they need her kind's banana organs in order for them to require productive functions. He tells her they will now mate, and after they're done he'll extract her womb and banana organs for their research. She resists and tells them even though she was dating a dirtbag, she managed to keep her virginity and she'd like to keep it that way. She'd only be willing to only break that rule for the Kintakakura she's looking for. She yells out, "I'll be damned if I let some creepy-ass aliens just take it from me." As soon as she said that, one of the aliens put his hand on her head, pressing his thumb against her forehead. The alien lets her know, in order to arouse her desires, "We will control your brain waves with psychokinesis." As she starts feeling aroused, her body gets warm, but she doesn't give in, muttering Kintakakura under her breath, which surprises the aliens. "You're resisting our psychokinesis. What remarkable force of will." Her resistance wouldn't be able to do much as she was strapped on a table. The alien pushes her legs to the side, and just as he was about to begin, Momo's phone starts ringing. They all come to a stop, annoyed by this. The alien walks over to the phone saying her phone, a person with bad timing it would seem. The name of the phone read Occult-kun. It was the boy who was ringing her phone. As the alien got close to the phone, Turbo Granny, the old spirit lady, jumped out of the phone, catching everyone in the room by surprise. Turbo Granny wasted no time and bit off the alien's junk, ripping the metallic tube off his body, sending the alien flying to a nearby wall. "Miss Ayase, I'm so sorry. There was a spirit, and I wound up getting cursed by the Turbo Granny." Turbo Granny spoke. Momo started to tear up once she saw it wasn't just Turbo Granny. It was the boy. He somehow merged with the old spirit lady. "Occult-kun, thank God, please save me," Momo cried out as the aliens observed the boy and Turbo Granny, wondering who they were and how they transported using the cell phone, stating transportation via cell phone is a technology even we do not have. "Help me please. I can't control myself," the boy cried out as Turbo Granny fully took over the body. Momo yells at him to get a hold of himself as the aliens get mad at Turbo Granny's sudden appearance. They tell him human males have no permission coming in here, having no idea it's a spirit. They tell him to leave at once, and if he refuses they'll take his banana organs as they get out of their human form and reveal their real alien appearance. Alien sticks his hand out using a move called Six Sensory Organs. The alien tried to pin down Turbo Granny telepathically, but she evaded it. She was too fast for his telepathy to keep up. The wall she leapt from was crushed by the attack she just evaded. Seeing how fast the spirit was, the alien admits she's fast and cannot track her with the psychokinesis. Turbo Granny attacks and bites off the second alien's junk, getting the third one shaken. "Our precious banana organs," he cried out. The third alien managed to pin Turbo Granny on the wall using Serpoin from survey method, a strong psychokinesis attack that held Turbo Granny in place. Occult-kun, Momo called, worried as she watched the alien pin the spirit down. The boy sustained damage since he shared the body with the spirit. The alien tells the boy they have never encountered an aggressive human before and asks him if he'd give them their banana, to which the boy surprisingly agreed. He tells the alien he can have it because all his life he had no friends and he thought if aliens existed they'd be his friends. Ever since elementary school, he looked to the skies and asked for UFOs to come. But they never did. No matter how much he called for them, they never appeared. So finally getting to meet aliens, he was happy but at the same time angry because they were trying to hurt the one person who stood up for him. If you hurt her, you won't get away with it. I'll even become a monster if it's for her sake. He yelled out loud, trying to break free of the psychokinesis hold. Seeing this, Momo got a little hope back, encouraging him, telling him to show the aliens what a man he is. As he tried to forcefully break free of the psychokinesis hold, the alien added more pressure onto the hold, sinking him deeper into the wall. Aren't you giving up a bit too quickly? Momo asks, visibly disappointed. The alien tells the boy they can never become friends with a barbaric person and that they prefer women before he proceeds to press his hand on Momo's head, arousing her again, while he held the boy pinned down on the wall, using his other hand displaying strong psychokinesis. While she was being aroused and she was resisting the psychokinesis, she remembers her grandmother's words. Her grandmother was telling her to send out her chi, and she refused because of the kids at her school making fun of her and mocking her. What are you talking about? Her grandmother asked. If you release your chi, no illness or accidents will befall you. Nothing evil can come near you. She remembered her words and did as her grandmother used to instruct her. She released her chi and the table she was strapped on shattered into pieces, shocking everyone in the room, including herself. The boy was quick to point out she had paranormal abilities, to which she responds she's just as shocked as he is. The alien stood there with disbelief. My psychokinesis is being pushed back. How? This person was not able to employ psychokinesis before. He wondered if he overstimulated her brainwaves with the psychokinesis, causing her chakra to open up. She's the real thing, he muttered as he watched her in awe of herself as she held an item hovering above her hand. Momo shifts her eyes back on the alien as she thanks her grandmother for teaching her about chi. She leaps forward and sends the alien flying through the wall with a kick to the face. As soon as the alien went through the wall, an explosion occurred, revealing that they were inside an actual UFO. Shocked, Momo turns to the boy, telling him we gotta get out of here, but the boy jumped towards her with his mouth gaping open. Turbo Granny took over. Momo stuck her hand out, and the boy bit her arm as she fell on the floor, unable to get him off her. She winced in pain and asked him what the hell he was doing and to get a hold of himself before she forcefully pushed Turbo Granny out of his body using her awaken ability, which could only be psychokinesis. Turbo Granny, Momo questioned, seeing the old spirit as the boy fell on top of her. Who the hell are you, worm? Asked Turbo Granny once she was split from the boy's body. The boy cried in pain, getting Momo confused. The curse still isn't lifted even though Granny has left his body. She asked with a puzzled look on her face. I have his schlong, Turbo Granny explains. As long as I have his schlong, the curse will remain in place. She tells her if she wants his schlong back, they have to come back to the tunnel because the place where they were inside the UFO was too far for her. At the tunnel, I will take on as much as you care to give. She ends her sentence before disappearing, leaving Momo and the boy inside the unstable UFO. Momo takes the boy with her and the two escape the UFO before it explodes. They stopped a long way from the hospital. They both had lifeless looks on their faces as Momo stated, well, I believe in aliens now. I mean, I was abducted by one. And the boy says, and I definitely believe in spirits. I was cursed by one. Momo asked what they should do now, to which the boy has no answer. She held him with her psychokinesis, stating that if she lets go he'd go berserk again. She continues saying she lost everything. Her phone, wallet and uniform, as she was now wearing the boy's jacket to cover her body. What do you think we can do to dispel this curse? The boy asked, and Momo tells him the only way to break the curse is to beat Turbo Granny since she's the one who caused it. Hearing that, the boy sets his mind on going after Turbo Granny by himself, telling Momo to go home. He takes off his shirt and pants for her to wear. Hang on, without me, you'll go berserk again. She reminds him, not wanting him to go up against Turbo Granny by himself. The boy tells her everything that happened was his fault, and he won't have her be involved any more than she already has. I'll work up the courage to go to the tunnel, and after that, I'll solve this somehow, he told her before walking away. Confused by his words, she asks him why he isn't asking her to come with, cause she's had the same experience as him. Wouldn't it be better if we work together? She reminds him that without her, he'd have been dead. The boy tries to insist, but she tells him to shut up and put your clothes back on before lightly kicking him from behind. He apologizes and says, I'm an awkward fellow after all. He says the famous lines by Kentaka Kora, whom Momo has a big crush on. He holds his shirt and pants out to her, insisting she wore them because otherwise he wouldn't be able to speak to her properly. Her heart skips a beat and starts a race, leaving her confused at why she was feeling this way. I was just taken aback when he happened to say that Ken Takakura line. That's all. She assures herself it was just that and nothing more before she proceeds to ask him now that I think about it. What's your name? She asks, feeling embarrassed for not asking him his name sooner. I'm really bad at remembering names. It's Ken Takakura. The boy reveals his name, leaving Momo speechless. She stared at him with wide eyes, her face warming up. He happened to have the same name as the man she had a big crush on,